I am going to do something that I don't think I've ever done, which is actually give you a little bit of a life update. So if you are here for the weight loss and you're here for all the tips and the tricks, then maybe this isn't the video for you. But if you want to know a little bit more is going on with me and my little family here in New Zealand, then keep watching because there's some really cool and exciting and interesting things that are going. I want to talk a little bit about the fact that last year around May, we actually applied for something called a green card lottery. And the green card lottery means that you can essentially win a way of becoming not an American citizen, but getting a green card so that you can go and live in America. We had this idea that we wanted to go and at least try living in America. So I want to share a little bit about that, whether we still want to go to America. We also, about 2 years ago, put out on our Instagram that we had bought a section and that we were going to build. And so finally, about 6 months ago, we started that build process. You know, it was actually even less than that. It was like probably like 3-4 months ago. So I wanted to give you an update on that, where our house build is, and also the fact that I just got back from the States and I've been in this weight loss phase, a very intentional weight loss phase after my bulk, and I just wanted to give you a bit of a physique update as well, and just like basically sit down and have a little chat with you about how things are going, what I'm eating, what we're doing, what's working for us right now, kind of what's in the pipeline, and also just share with you what I'm going to make for dinner. So let's get into that. I'm going to go and walk to our section and just have a look and see what we can see.
It's so fun. Morgan, come out.
Whee! This is kind of like the neighborhood where we'll be. It's a little bit nicer than where we are now. I like that this street has lots of trees and there's like the bush and the hills and there's like lots and lots of trees around, so it's kind of like secluded and hidden, eh? Yeah. And I like it. It's a lot more quiet than our neighborhood.
Like
nice.
Watching. Yeah.
Oh, they did more. They did the things down the bottom. There's the front door. Let me in.
Welcome.
There we go.
Hello.
This will be the main bedroom. Yeah. This is the cupboard. It's very dark in here. I'm hoping that it feels a whole lot lighter at some point. Hello. Hallway. This will be my office. Garage. Girls' room. And then this will be our bathroom. And then this will be black. Black Hardy. And then this will be where our lounge is. I love how this looks here.
We're playing games.
Very cool. Like, look how dirty this is. It's so dirty out here. But this light right here, this kind of flippin' golden light of this time of year, like, yeah, it's a little bit cold, but I'm obsessed. Like, man, if we move, I will miss this. And our little noisy roundabout section. And my poor little mini ramp, which I haven't skated on for ages and is wet, and I need to cover it because of my blimmin' injured knee. Also, I don't think I showed you that I actually got a new tattoo when I was in the States. So I've got a little mothy here and some little mushies that I'm going to let my kids name, and then she goes, they go with this girl here. One of the things that is just making my life so much easier right now is having my mum. My mum is amazing, by the way. This is my mum. And having you come and do like a bit of cleaning, a little bit of like very, very simple prep for me each week. Honestly, game changer. And like I would recommend to anyone, like if you have the ability to outsource a bit of your prep and a bit of your cleaning, like I will sacrifice other things in my budget in order to make that a reality, because it just saves me so much time and so much brain space. And honestly, for the cost of going out once a week, you could probably have someone come and do a bit of cleaning for a couple of hours. So you decide what's more important to you, or like a few beers or having some alcohol. Like I would way rather have someone else come and help me with my house than to spend money on food, like eating out. So I do love this little house that we have that we renovated, but one thing I don't love is there's so much light that comes in from this window when the sun is setting. So during winter, it's very, very hard to film or do anything or even just see. But I'm gonna make a bolognese because I'm craving a bolognese, and we're gonna do that. I think I'm even gonna use like a bit of like a plant-based mince. And the reason that I wanna do this, two reasons. First of all, I'm trying to eat a bit more protein these days because I'm trying to like become a muscle mummy essentially. Also, I just want to show you how I can add some higher calorie elements this sun, and then how I offset that with lower calorie things, even when I'm in a weight loss phase. And one of the things that I think has really, really helped me in my journey is that I'm just not all or nothing. I'm not like, oh, it's a weight loss meal. Oh, it's not. It's, oh, I'm eating a higher calorie element. I'm going to offset that with some low calorie elements so that it still supports and fits my goals. Very, very rough cut, but that's okay. Let's see what else we have to use up. Carrot, celery. So I just wanted to highlight something about like my cooking process that has been probably the biggest thing that's helped me to lose weight and keep it off, is that I just cook with so many non-starchy vegetables, and I'm always asking myself whenever I make a recipe, how can I add even more? So as you can see, I've got this huge plate, I've got all of this onion that I've cooked up. Not only that, to this bolognese, I'm also going to add 2 tins of tomatoes, which are very, very low calorie. Even with me adding some of this, the majority of what's going into this meal, and like, yeah, I'm going to be adding a bit of pasta sauce as well, majority is non-starchy vegetables. So I'm going to bulk out this meal with a lot of non-starchy veggies. And I talked about this in my free mini course. I made a free mini course just for you so that you could learn exactly how to do this. And I wish that a resource like this had existed when I started losing weight, because I had no idea what I was doing, and I was just kind of like trying some things and testing it out. And I understood I needed to be in a calorie deficit, but I didn't really understand what that meant and what kind of foods I could eat and how much. If you haven't already, download it, log in, consume it. It is a great resource, and I did it all for free because I believe that you should know this information. Go check that out. It's a little plug there for free. I'm gonna cook this up. Yummy. Non-stick pan. It's a yes for me, dog. And then I love this for like a umami flavor. 2 of these in. Okay, so Physique update. I should do this while I'm cooking my foods. I love these shorts. These are Gymshark, and I like the scrunch. They were longer. They're like more like bike shorts, but I actually asked my mum to shorten them because this is my favorite length for the gym, at least, not for running, but for the gym. Liking my biceps, so I gotta say that. So I started my fat loss phase April 9th. It is currently May 23rd. And this morning I weighed in at 64.4 kgs, which is 1.7 kilos, which is a 3.74 pounds. And I want to guess as well that I would have actually, hopefully have gained, or at least maintained a little bit of muscle mass in that time. And I actually lost weight in America for a couple of reasons, mostly because I was eating just a lot of really, really low calorie foods in the forms of like potatoes, snap peas, carrots, tons of strawberries. Ate my body weight in strawberries every single day, and did eat out a little bit, but I actually am feeling so much better in my body. It's amazing at this point, like how much, like 1.7 kilos, like about 2 kilos, the difference in how lean I feel, the difference in how confident I feel, the difference in the way my clothes are fitting again. Like I feel like I have so much more muscle definition. Like I just built so much muscle in my bulk, for me at least. And so now like revealing a little bit of that, just feeling like a little bit leaner. And this is like, I feel bloated right now. So I feel like that's definitely progress. And for a lot of people that would feel very, very slow. But for me, I'm like very happy with that. And I know that that's like sustainable, especially the fact that I was traveling and not being as intentional. So I'm really happy. I'm really, really happy. And I'm excited to see like over the next couple of months, just like getting leaner, getting stronger. I want to get some ab definition. I'm really, really motivated. And just, I feel really disciplined right now. Like I'm going to the gym, back into it every day. I'm eating my tofu, I'm eating my veg, and I'm just doing the mahi. So let's go. If you're doing the mahi, if you were just doing the boring work, then I want to hear in the comments, because like kudos to us, my friend. And this tofu, which I eat so much of, I have a recipe for it on YouTube, but it's literally just like nooch and veggie stock. This morning we talked about some tools for if you're feeling like embarrassed or if you're feeling like rejection from people, because like a lot of the people that actually watch this would feel the same. They would feel that sense of like they're like the weirdo, or that something embarrassing happens and they bring you food with them and all these kind of things. What are some of the tools that you used today, and how did it change your day at school?
I think that one of the best ways to do it is to speak encouraging words to you, like you can do this. And that's one of the reasons that I had such a great day at school, was because I was confident and I kept on saying that to myself.
Sometimes your brain will tell you things. Your brain will be like, oh, you can't do it, oh, you're not good enough, oh, you're a failure. And you have to like talk back to your brain, eh?
Yeah, it's real great thing for just saying you're good at this, and it real makes you more lifted up, as I would say it.
So I heard this thing recently, and shout out to Keisha, who is flipping amazing, who I just spent 3 weeks with in LA, and she saw this thing, and it had an impact on me as well, which is the person that you talk most to is yourself. So you may as well make it positive. And the thing that we've seen with countless women inside of Lean of Plants is that when you speak positively to yourself, it's not just like fluffy positivity or like toxic positivity. It's really just coming back with truth when your brain goes on repeat about why you are incapable of doing things. And so literally just taking those thoughts and then presenting an alternative to your brain. As simple as when you have that feeling, I can't do this, being like, no. Like, and I will literally say to myself, like, Charles, like, you can do it. Like, you can totally give this a go. And I changed the meaning around things that would hold me back. So failure is a really good one. I have fail fast on my wall for this reason. And so whenever I feel like, oh, I'm going to be a failure, I will say to myself, like, Charles, failure is good. Like, you have to fail so that you can learn. Even if you do this and you fail, it will be a good thing. And embarrassment, the same kind of thing. Sometimes, like I'm at the gym, we talk about embarrassment a lot because you hate embarrassment.
Yeah.
You hate embarrassment, no?
Yes, I do. I've been through a lot of stuff and embarrassing.
What I will say to myself, I'll be at the gym, right? And then I'll be like, oh, I should take a selfie. And then I'm like, oh, that's so embarrassing. Or be like, oh, I feel like doing a little dance. And I'm like, it's so embarrassing. And then I tell myself, you know what? It's good to teach myself that I can be embarrassed and survive. And so I will do it anyway. Just to teach myself I can be embarrassed and survive it.
I think that's real great. I think that's another great way to just say, you're good enough, and it doesn't matter what this is.
Yeah, I'm reading a book about neuro-linguistic programming right now. What they talk about is that everything that we feel about anything is because we've ascribed some kind of meaning to it. That there's a step between stimuli and then the feeling. So let's say it rains and you feel sad. There's a step in between that, which is that our brains, through pattern recognition, have ascribed meaning. And the coolest thing is that you can change the meaning of something. You can change that when you feel embarrassed, it is meaning that you're doing something out of your comfort zone and therefore good. You can change that when you feel like you're going to fail at something. It is a positive thing because you're actually stepping out of your comfort zone and you're learning a new skill set. You can change the meaning of all of these negative things, like I can't do this, this is too hard, to hey, it should feel hard because I'm doing something that is stretching me, therefore I am growing. This is what I talk about on the podcast every single week, so go listen to that if you're not. Just how easy it is to change your mindset around things when you use these kind of tools of just speaking back to yourself and speaking truth to yourself. Hope that's helpful. Alright, so this is done. It looks great. And then I have some broccoli ready to go, and then I have this pasta, and this is the one that I'm using, which I got from America and brought back. This is the serving size. So just to show you the calories, like normally I would eyeball this, but to show you the calories, I went ahead and weighed this. The total weight, so it's 720 divided by 6, because that's the serving. So 120 cooked grams would be 190. So that's what I'm going to weigh out just to show you what this meal looks like. So pasta, bolognese, broccoli. So I went and did all the macros for this, by the way, because I wanted to just kind of show you how like crazy easy it is. You can see that in terms of like calorie density, I've got very, very little pasta in there. The pasta works out to 190. The bolognese, I put 600 grams, which is over a pound. There's a lot in there. It's really, really low in calorie density just because it simply has so many vegetables. So that's like 290, and then I put some broccoli in there, about 150 grams. So this entire meal, this huge plate of food, 36 grams of protein and 536 calories, like for a weight loss meal, is right kind of where you want to be. And so I never weighed or measured anything when I lost my weight, but I wouldn't have put like this kind of processed mince in something. I would have used lentils. And like I truly believe that processed vegan food is a distraction. If you're on a weight loss journey, you do not need to have it. You're far better to use whole foods like lentils, or even like TVP, textured vegetable protein, which is essentially just soy without any of the oil in it. And there's this phrase that I really love, which is model the climb, not the rise, or something like that, which is essentially you want to copy what someone did as they were getting to their goal, not what they do now. So what I do now is going to be slightly different. I still use the same principles. The principles of calorie density still apply. I didn't eat like processed mince in terms of like vegan mince like that. So let's give it a taste test. I know people in the comments absolutely love seeing me eat with and talk with my mouth full. So will I do that this time? Time to serve up the kids. So this is kind of hard for me to believe, but May, I think it was 15th, I was in Florida, and I knew that the green card lottery they were going to draw the results that day. And I was at a conference and I was trying to check it on my phone and I couldn't check anything. And then, so it was later that night, like I knew it opened at like noon and people would find out. And you don't get any emails or anything, like you have to actually go and check on their site. They say like don't look for any emails or anything. So later that night, finally got back to our hotel, and I was with my general manager, Keisha, who's also like probably one of my closest friends. She is definitely one of my closest friends. Lost 80 pounds in Lean with Plants, like just amazing go-getter human. And I check it, and I check mine first because Nick and I both applied. And so because we're from New Zealand, we actually have a pretty good chance of, like, comparatively, of getting it, because we have like a 4% chance based on like our country being like, I think not many people want to immigrate to the States. And I check mine first, and it's like, you have been selected to apply for the green card lottery, or to have like the green card lottery. And I was like, what? Like, I think this means that I got it. But I was so skeptical that it meant that I'd actually got it. And so I logged on to Nick's one. I checked Nick's one with his confirmation code, and it was like, you have not been selected. And it doesn't matter if there's who gets selected, just one person. Like, if you have one person, you could bring your family. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, that means that we got it. And it was like this crazy feeling of like obviously there's a lot of steps, and I was like not wanting to get my hopes up, but in my brain I was like, this means that if I want to live here, and I'll finish the train of thought, then I can come and I can live here. And I'm at this conference surrounded by people who are challenging me and pushing me and just learning so much about like business and how to have like a better service for our customers, how to like get people better results in the fitness and the weight loss space. I'm just like, this is just where I want to be. I want to be around people that are pushing me. I can't believe we got it. I can't believe it. And the form, man, the form to fill out afterwards was a bit of a nightmare, but that is now done as well. So the next step is just waiting to see if we get the interview, and then from there, I don't know how long it's going to take, maybe like a year. If you know anything about it, please let me know. I did meet with someone in LA at our Lean of Plants meetup who has gone through it, and she's like, you'll be fine, you'll get it. But yeah, crazy kind of stuff. How do you feel about winning the green card lottery?
Wow, this was quite unexpected. I felt like I should have asked you for 6 random numbers between 1 and 40 afterwards.
Yeah.
Because I thought that would probably be our best shot at winning actual lotto.
Actual lotto.
Yeah.
Well, 5 million people enter every year, and they award about 55,000. The chances are pretty darn slim.
They are.
What do you feel when you think about potentially moving from New Zealand, which we've always known, and living in America?
To be honest, I feel no sadness. Yeah, I feel kind of excited about it. I feel like, heck, this is such an amazing opportunity. I feel sad for the girls and moving away from grandparents, but it's a huge opportunity that we probably get to embark on.
What would you say to the people who would potentially be watching this and be like, I can't understand, like specifically Americans, why you would want to leave a country like New Zealand and then come to America? Because I've gotten that.
I would say you can't understand what it's like to grow up in New Zealand and feel so small and pretty insignificant and dream of being stretched beyond what there's a glass ceiling and it's pretty low.
And the moment that you try and get kind of like above like the status quo, it's like don't like the tall poppy syndrome, which is that you can't be up higher than anyone else. You shouldn't try and aim harder. You shouldn't stand out. There'll be things that I'll hear from America, like even it's the simplest things where Americans will send cards of like a picture of their family at Christmas time, and I've literally been in someone's house and like looked at their family albums where they'll have all their friends will have sent them Christmas cards, and I can't, as a New Zealander, I cannot wrap my head around that. Like that feels like a level of narcissism that I simply cannot like comprehend, because I'm like, no one that I know would want a picture of me like in my family. Like that just seems very, very strange. But then I also go and I have to check that mindset, because I'm like, that's not narcissism, that's just very different to the way that we are taught. We're taught that like, no one wants to know about you, no one wants to like hear what you have to say, don't put yourself out there. It's very different. I think like having a business, wanting to be pushed like physically, mentally, wanting to grow, wanting to empower other people, wanting to be just like the best version of ourselves that we can be, and give our kids that as well. That's very, very hard to do. As New Zealand is so comfortable, it's very, very hard to do that.
There's also just not as many opportunities to do things for the girls to put them into. If we wanted to go, well, we really want you to experience this particular schooling, or if we wanted to in New Zealand, it's for a lot of things it just doesn't exist because we're too small.
Yeah, like this is a country with 5 million people in the entire country. Not only that, we're at the bottom of the world on a tiny isolated island, and it's not Australia. Like I've had conversations with people when I was in the States recently, and people think that Australia and New Zealand is the same country or very close. It is not. Like we are 4 hours away from the nearest country, like over ocean. And don't get me wrong, like I love New Zealand. I feel very, very privileged to be a New Zealander, but I also know that there's so much more out there than just being this little Kiwi at the bottom of the world, and I want to at least experience that and give it a go. So I feel so flippin' lucky to like have this opportunity, regardless of what happens. Like it might not go any further. Hopefully,
it's opportunity. It's opportunity.
Yeah.
It's like, why wouldn't you take an opportunity to expand the horizons of your mind?
Yeah. And then we're in the middle of building a house.
Yes.
So
yes.
that was like great timing.
It's just the way it goes.
Yeah. Exciting. I feel like this is going to be a very interesting, crazy, exciting next year.
Whatever happens.
So any
we're
advice?
Together.
Yeah. Any advice, any tips if you've done this, if you've moved from like a different country, if you're thinking like anything at all, just like let us know. Like we want to know all the things and new seasons. Oh, I got chills. There's Nick doing some dishes on our little life, and I'm gonna now do just a cup of tea and a protein bar. I've tried a lot of protein bars. When I was in America, I kind of like tried, not all of them, but I tried the ones that in my opinion had the best macros. These ones are not the lowest calorie options. They're like between 230 to 260, and I kind of treat them as a dessert. So I'm gonna have, this is my absolute favorite one. I would not snack on this, by the way. Like this is legit a dessert for me. So I have my tea, and then I get one of these, and it's like a nice little treat. I also really like this mint one. I like the ones that have chocolate on the outside. This one also has chocolate. This one's also good. And that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed this update. And I know it's a bit different, but let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments. And we'll do this again sometime, maybe, or maybe I'll never do it again. Cheers.